I asked myself, what if I sat with my emotions instead of trying to hide from them, to numb them, or push them down? What if I listened to the message they carry before trying to release them? What is hiding behind the fear? Why is letting go so hard at times? Why do I seem to want to run in different directions all at once? Why are there so many ups and downs on this path? So, I decided to stop running away from my feelings, to purposefully set distractions aside, to let my breath tell the truth of my inner state instead of using it to constantly regulate myself. If I want to truly know myself, I must be willing to sit with all aspects within me first. I must be willing to walk in the shadows of my inner world and meet face to face with the parts of me that are asking for help, that need my attention. The parts I locked away so long ago and that I still try to hide or push down because they feel uncomfortable and because they are hurting. I must be willing to sit with the discomfort and even with the pain. If I truly want to be free, I must be willing to share my love with these wounded parts of me, to help them heal and to allow them to be expressed and share the gifts they carry within. Allowing our emotions to be present may be scary at first. We do many things to run away from our emotions or to hide or suppress them. We do this unconsciously, and sometimes we are even aware that we're doing these things to distract us. However, if we truly want to be free, there's no way around this. The only way is through. We must be willing to sit with our emotions, to sit with what's present. I invite you to notice your distractions. Some of these distractions are well known. We use shopping, social media, alcohol, substances to numb or distract ourselves, entertainment. Others are more subtle. Others are even seen as positive, and they can be positive when they're not used to run away from something we're feeling, to distract ourselves. For instance, I love reading. I love listening to inspirational material. I love watching videos. But I do tend to want to use these things more often when I'm feeling uncomfortable, to use them as a way to get an answer, to hear exactly what I need to hear in that moment. And that is okay. We all need motivation and inspiration every now and then. The problem is when this becomes a habit and when we cannot be okay with that. For instance, I love reading when I'm having my meals. And I decided to set aside all distractions, and this was one of them, and just to really sit down with my food for the purpose of being mindful and enjoying my food. And also because I wanted to listen to what was present, to feel what is present. So there's nothing wrong with reading, with entertainment, or with other forms of distraction. Some of the distractions that are more subtle are becoming obsessed with our physical appearance and always looking for beauty enhancements, obsessing about home renovations and always wanting to change something around the house. Fitness, even spirituality can become a distraction if we are constantly using it to escape what we're feeling. I'm a breathwork coach, but even breathwork, even using your breath to constantly auto regulate, to constantly release what you're feeling, and instead of sitting with it, is a distraction. So notice when you're using these things to distract yourself. I have a new rule for me, and that is to only read or listen to inspirational material or go shopping or any of the forms that I used to distract myself in the past when I am feeling okay, when I am in a good mood and I feel like, oh, yes, I want to hear something inspiring today, or oh, I need to buy this. This is a good time to do it because I am feeling emotionally okay. I am centered, I am regulated. I am not using this to distract myself. I'm going to read and I'm going to set aside a time for reading, not to escape my thoughts or to quiet my mind. So I invite you to First, identify your distractions and notice when you're using them to escape your feelings, to not feel what is present. And the best way to sit with your emotions and to feel them, ironically, is to separate from them a little. To sit with your emotions as a loving parent would sit with a child that's hurting, that is sad. Because often our emotions are expressed by parts of us that are hurting. There's always a message hidden behind the emotion, and often it's not what we think. Sometimes this message, as I mentioned, comes from our inner child or children, from our younger selves. Other times, our emotions are the way our soul communicates with us. It is sending us messages. And there is a way to know if your emotions are your intuition, your soul sending you a message, or if they are cry for help from a wounded part of you. And I will share a video in the future focus on how we can sit with our soul and listen to our intuition, and how can we identify if the message comes from a wounded part of us. Today, I want to share with you one way in which you can allow your emotions to be present. And as I mentioned, the best way, the safest, most loving way, is to separate a little and to really listen and feel with compassion and curiosity. This is very important. Compassion and curiosity to what is hidden behind the fear, behind the sadness, behind the depression, behind the anxiety. What is the fear trying to tell you? Perhaps when you do this, you see a part of you that is scared. And it's very important that we come with a sense of innocence, of not knowing, not assuming that we know why we're feeling a certain way. To feel the emotion in our body, to feel the sensations that accompany this emotion, to listen to what the emotion is telling us, and to tap into that wise, loving part of us that knows how to heal this wounded part, that knows exactly what this part needs to hear now, that perhaps is something that it needed to hear in the past. So we are reparenting ourselves in some way. We are allowing these parts to express themselves. We are listening to their fears, their doubts, their anxious thoughts, instead of hiding away from them or pushing them down. Because this message is important, and this is really how we heal. Often we ask ourselves, why are there so many ups and downs on the path of healing and awakening? And this is because there are many layers within us that we gently start to uncover. We heal one wound and a deeper wound comes out. And every time a wound comes up, every time we experience fear or anxiety or sadness or unworthiness, it's an opportunity to look within and heal the part of us that is feeling this, to share our love with these parts. And every part of us carries a gift that we probably pushed away because we felt it wasn't safe to share it, to express it, to be ourselves. And I would like to invite you to explore the inner allowing sessions that I have the joy and pleasure to facilitate and offer to you if you want to be accompanied in this process, sitting with what's present, sitting with the parts of you that need you in a safe container, and accompanied also by a friend. All my work will be linked in the description below, so be sure to check it out. Thank you so much for being here with me today. My name is Erica. This is my channel, Peace Space. It is my purpose that at the end of each video, you feel closer and more connected to your soul and to your source. And today, I really want you to feel your ability, your power, and your courage to sit with what you're feeling, to go within, and to do the inner work that is required to heal. So if you're new to this channel, welcome. I invite you to subscribe if you haven't already. And if you find this video helpful, this practice enriching, I invite you to share it with others. And I really would like to hear your comments.